Alright, I think it's been, what, like about a year since I did this, solo Shattered Throne commentary thing. I think I did on my Type My Hunter already, so I guess I'll round it out with my Warlock. Again, this isn't some, like, guide to Shattered Throne, it's gonna be, like, just me rambling while I'm doing Shattered Throne in the background. You know, it's like the tradition at this point, you know. You talk about the state of the game, some other bullshit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're looking for, like, an actual comprehensive guide, this is not it. I'm just gonna use whatever I have in my Warlock. I really don't care. Uh, yeah, Shadow Throne's really straightforward. I'm surprised people. I'm surprised Prophecy, at least from like what I've seen, people like Prophecy a lot more than Shattered Throne, and I'm like, why? It's just, I don't know. Prophecy, like, it looks pretty, I guess, and has some nice music, but like the mechanics are fucking. It's annoying because it's like they still have the same gambit bug mechanics from multiple falls to the ground, or you'll be standing in the dark, and for some reason it's coded light, or yada. It's not a. And then also Taken, and the arena is a lot more unforgiving compared to Shattered Throne, like the Shattered Throne boss arenas, like the ones probably are really fucking annoying. Um, like I said, I've done them all solo. I have not done them all solo flawless. I think I've only done Shattered Throne solo flawless. I could do the other two, but I don't care for it. I'll do that eventually. So, I guess I can talk about like we'll use like Hawk Moon and my full auto Zen Vision of Scout. Vision of Scout. Vision of Confluence. Yes, I'm very much awake. And also, here you go, full auto Zen Vision of Confluence, and I've been saying this for years, and I'm sure no one's surprised, but I said it doesn't matter what weapon you bring back, you can bring back Vision of Confluence from Destiny 1 with the same stats and everything, but the way that Sandbox is, it's complete garbage, because scouts are bad, and you have to have a damage for a gun to feel good, or at least have like some way to keep up the ammo. Um, so yeah, Vision sucks. It's my favorite weapon, at least one of my favorites, but it blows. Anyways, guess we'll use Middle Tree, because it's getting a buff, a pretty substantial buff. Hopefully it's actually used, well, it sounds like it's going to be extremely usable in PvE. I just don't want flashbacks to PvP where you're just getting farmed by Nova Warps, and I think a lot of people don't want that either. I usually don't wear Astrocyte, because it really throws off my blinks, like my because I'm used to, like, it's like fastball now. Like, I'm used to not using Astrocyte, and I'm not used to not using fastball, so like I have a certain muscle memory built in. So you just like necrotic grips, why not? I really don't care about my stats. But yeah, there's the weapon balance and all this other shit. So I guess off the bat, like I already talked about the season of store and all this crap, and I don't think it's really well done. Yada yada yada. But in terms of actual balancing news, yeah, and one of my friends pointed out, I think it's funny. He's like, it's funny that they're gonna buff scouts and hand cannons, but you can't use them next season because they're not in the what's that called? They're not in the champion, the artifact. And again, it's been another year and another year of me ranting about how stupid the artifact system is. Um, I understand champions. I can appreciate what they're trying to do, but it's just fighting champions become really annoying when you get locked out of certain loadouts because they're not relevant for that season. Like, for instance, this entire season I can use it in my bows. Next season I can't use it in my scouts or my hand cannons, or like entire loadouts and entire weapon classes become irrelevant. And yes, before you say it, no, you don't. It's like, yes, you don't have to have an anti-barrier scout or auto in everything you do, but yeah, someone who likes to do like nightfalls and stuff, it's pretty much essential to have an anti-barrier weapon or a champion weapon, right? Um, so yeah, like for someone like, oh, well, almost messed up. Someone like me, like this really blows, and I don't like the system. For people who don't really care about nightfalls and just like those like traditional, you know, strikes and chain gambit, like it's fine, like they don't care, and fair enough. But for someone like me, again, who likes to do like the higher end stuff, like it's really fucking annoying. And then you have to reload up your artifact and all this other shit that can kill me. Again, not very fun. But yeah, that's I mean, what else? They're not gonna change it. Like, I doubt it. Like again, my suggestion is like have all the champion mods available, like have overload, bow. You can or do the ones where you have 2 in 1, like how there's an anti-barrier, submachine gun, and an auto rifle for like that. I forgot, was it season of rifles or was the one before that? You could like double up on that one so you can save some mod space and some artifact space. But again, next season's looking pretty rough because all you have is anti-barrier auto. Because there's like 15 fucking unstoppable ones, and then there's one anti-barrier auto, and the other overload. There's overload bow, which is amazing, and then the overload sword, which is also very good. And then that's it. So anti-barrier auto is the only anti-barrier mod in the game, which means you're using Arianas or using like some precision auto rifle. Like I can't think of an exotic auto that's gonna be really good. Maybe Cerberus. Like, 'cause I know you have anti-barrier auto this season. I didn't even pay attention to what it was. Yeah, so you have anti-barrier auto this season, and honestly, like, I don't even use it because it's not really, like, you can use, I have an adept shadow price, like, disruption break, it'll make fine, I guess, but again, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, on some of the GMs, like Glassway, or, like, you're gonna want to use it as a scout. What's that? So snakes, so that's the, it's across the bridge. But yeah, like that's the champion system. It's really fucking dumb. No one likes it. Just like sunsetting, no one likes it. But here we are on the 3rd year of this fucking system that no one likes. Then we got to talk about the buffs and nerfs. Again, that 12 was pretty surreal for me because like basically everything on that list I got nerfed I don't really use, and everything on the list I got buffed is what I use a lot. Like I use Graviton Forfeit a lot. I use a stag a lot. I don't use Prometheum Storm, but like a lot of the stuff that was buffed on there I actually do use. So that was pretty fun. The Geomag's a nerf. It's mixed, but you know what? For once, I'll agree with the reasoning because in PvE it was free special finishers. In PvP, obviously you could just spam your super. Fine, like that sucks, but fine. I'll accept that one. That's the one I'll be like, fair enough, Bungie. I'll give it to you. But yeah, it's like sometimes I feel like they just change shit for the sake of change. Like they mix it up just to mix it up, and that usually causes more problems. Like I think again they've said it in the past. I don't know if maybe change now since they have like different people, but I remember I think it was around Taken King they said they wanted every gun to have its era, and like you know what I mean. And it really does feel like that the champion system, like every season there's a certain era of like weapons you can use. Like this season scouts and hand cannons and shit. Next season gonna be like fusion rifles and I don't know if that's over. Oh, no, you can tell what that. Next is gonna be like fusion rifles and I guess autos and bows. Like like it's really fucking annoying. Yeah, I don't know. Not very fun to have your loadout restricted to like a handful of weapons. And before it's like, oh yeah, you can use whatever you want, but it's like, okay, Anarchy nerf they have not talked about. I think they're gonna talk about it next week. And with the Anarchy nerf, I have Anarchy. I don't use it a lot because it wasn't really my style of gun. And obviously, and another thing too is I'm pretty much contrarian. If it wasn't really obvious, like I'm not super contrarian, but to a certain point. So I try not to stick to things that are too meta too, unless I really like them. Like if Polaris Lancer become meta, I'm still gonna use Polaris Lance because I like Polaris Lance. So, but like I never really liked Anarchy. It was just because again, it's like you don't really get to use the gun. You kind of just shoot on something, then you switch to a different gun. That's why I like to use exotic primaries too, because you have like more uptime with them. So there's that. But yeah, scavenger nerf doesn't affect me on console because on console I only use one scavenger perk because traction. And now they're finally adding like a traction thing to the game, so I can choose activity when you run. They're adding holster mods, which I think it's pretty neat. So there wasn't really anything to twab. I'm like, oh fuck, like oh wait, what was this symbol? Oh, it was the Minotaur dude. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But honestly, yeah, it's just I don't know, man. This game is very confusing. Like I feel like they do things on purpose. Like they do things that they know is gonna cause problems, or they know is gonna some a problem of bridging on the cross later just to like make players come back or to generate hype or something. Like with Felwinch, which like they knew what they were doing. Like, I refuse to believe they honestly thought like, oh man, if we get Irving the best shot in the game, it wouldn't be a problem. Or like with Whisper, the original, like when Whisper the Worm came back and had the original black white nail perk. I'm like, they knew what they're doing. You cannot, especially back when it first came out, because that was when you only had 2 primaries. You couldn't use you only had like you use like hand cannon scout and then like a rocket. You could use like a hand cannon sniper rocket. So they knew what they were doing. Like I refuse to believe that they're like, oh, I can't believe Whisper's strong. Like come on. This gun's been in the game 2 separate times prior to that. You know exactly what they did. Yeah, it's like it just really annoys me. Or like stasis, like that one quote where it's like the guy's like, I couldn't see the inherent value of freezing someone in PvP. I'm like, oh my god. Like, alright. But yeah, that's just how it is. Like, it's just, I don't know. Every time I'm just hanging on by a thread thinking they can do something great. And they can, and they have shown things in the past. Yeah, and then in terms of the subclass balancing, like, I hope that wasn't just it, because, like, some of the subclasses weren't even mentioned, like Top Tree Hammers, and some of the subclasses only got, like, 1 buff, like, fucking Blade Barrage only got a 1-second increase to the timer for, like, the, I forgot what it's called. But, like, that's it. Not the super being adjusted, so it's actually useful now, like, usable like it used to be. No, none of that shit. It's like, alright, fuck it. The super regen exotic nerfs, it's whatever. You still get 50% of your super, and if you run, and since they buff Elemental Wells, you can also run the, I forget, the one that gives you max out intellect. You don't even expect it to intellect. Like, still 50% on an Ursa, and you still generate all those orbs. Like, that's not, you can chain that for well still. Yeah, the timing might be a little bit tighter, but it's still the same shit. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it's like I said, love nothing in this game. Everything's susceptible to nerfs. Like, I'm pretty sure they'll nerf bows or sidearms, because sidearms are actually really good in PvE. They actually have one of the highest DPS along with SMGs, but I guess people don't like to use them. I do. They're supposed to be doing 73% more damage, by the way. It's definitely, like, again, that's way too much. And because, like, charging, like, you don't slow down when you're charging, it's like I feel like they know what they're doing. Like, they're trying to go back to the Forsaken meta. I actually don't have to do that, because why not? What else? Bird, so it's this time. Yeah, but that's like, I don't know. Oh, and then the catalyst, like, for Divinity, you have to get, like, supposedly you have to get, like, kills with the weapon. The entire point of the weapon is supposed to be support, so kind of close. Also, another cool thing, too, about champion mods, which I will give them credit for, is that they're actually useful outside of dealing with champions. Like, for instance, barrier mods will always bypass will bypass certain barriers, like a Phalanx shield or a Hydra shield, or the bubble on a Taken Vandal. Like, that's very useful, and I use an anti-barrier weapon in Morgan for that exact reason. I mean, that's pretty neat. Same with Unstoppable. That's what makes it so good with Little Horde Anarchy, because every tick will apply the Unstoppable stagger, so you can literally just unlock shit. That's really cool. So yeah, like, the champion system isn't the worst, but I don't like, again, I don't like how my levels have to reset, but obviously it's for the fucking grind and shit. Oh, yeah. figured that out. Nah, I'm now more energized because I talked to another living being. But yeah. What the fuck is that? Dragons to the other tower. Yeah, I just don't know, man. I just don't know about this game. It always bugs me too that there's like there's a lot of game franchises, games where like and I say this all the time, the developers make something amazing and then they just fuck it up because they just don't listen, or they just somehow they just it's like they don't understand their own creation. And to be fair, I feel like I guess it is just something that happens. You develop more than you actually play, and I can understand that you don't want your work to be affiliated with your play, because imagine if you have to play this game for your job while also developing stuff, like, the probably drive you crazy. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Maybe they need to have more play, or maybe the devs really just need to, like, just sink some hours into it or something, because some of these changes would make a lot more, like, would never have gone through if they just, like, I don't know, played it. Because, again, another thing I like to say, too, is that I feel like a thing that a lot of developers fall for is that they have every data possible that we probably didn't even know that's relevant. Like, oh, how many times you look at this screen or whatever, right? But what they lack, I feel, is context. And I will always use this example, like with snipers and Whisper. Pre-Shadowkeep snipers were like the most used, whatever, and Whisper, yada yada yada. So they nerfed all the snipers. And again, if you look at the data, yes, a lot of people use snipers. But then again, look at the context. It's like the same thing with scouts. Like, people use scouts all the time in GMs. You have to realize that if there's an encounter where enemies are higher level or they just deal a lot of damage, the last thing I want to be is close, because unless again, like the Lament, where the damage will justify me being that close and almost dying, then no, I'm not going to use a shotgun. I'm not going to use a sword unless the damage is worth it. And again, they have made weapons where the damage is worth. Like Lament it's still crazy. It's been nerfed like by 33%, and it's still, or at least I think 30. Oh, I thought from that. Yeah, at least like 30%. It's been nerfed by 30%. It's still amazing. Now in GMs, it doesn't really justify anymore. It used to because of the crazy burst damage, but still, the point is that's the context that I feel like they're missing. So all they see is like, oh, well, they're using this sniper all the time. Must nerf it, like Whisper. Like when Whisper, right before Whisper got nerfed, you had 0 Hour, you had Whisper the Worm, missions where you had a lot of enemies, a lot of tanky enemies, and a lot of enemies that deal damage. And guess what? Whisper has infinite ammo as long as you hit your shots. So why would I use something that needs me to reload or needs me to get close when I can use an infinite ammo sniper as long as I hit my shot? Like, it just, again, I'm not gonna pretend like Whisper wasn't overpowered or whatever. Like, fine, you want to argue that, fine. But now, like the way it is now, it's not even worth it. It's not worth using. I carry it around just because of nostalgia, but it's not worth using. And you look like something in Deep Stone Crypt. I guarantee, if you unnerf Whisper, you're not going to see it in Deep Stone Crypt. Because again, context. Bungie has made a ton of raid bosses where they're far away from you, and they stand still. So, you could try to get close to them for whatever reason and put yourself in harm's way, or use a sniper, since they're standing still and they're far away. It's almost like it's designed for snipers. And then you look at something like Deep Stone Crypt, where a lot of the encounters you're forced to be close to the boss, or you're within close enough proximity where, yeah, you could use a sniper, but it's better to use a shotgun, right? It's almost like they can just do that instead of just outright dumpstering entire weapon classes, where they can just make it so it's more advantageous in certain encounters to use a certain weapon class, kind of like how it is supposed to be. Like, that makes more sense than just like try to make a one-size-fit-all meta for PvE, Like, I think it's fine that certain weapons can't be used in certain encounters. It's inefficient to use certain weapons in certain encounters. Like, not everything has to be this, multi-tool of, oh, I can use my hand cannon, whatever, Like, I'm fine with that. But I guess Bungie isn't, And it's just like, it annoys me. It annoys me because then certain weapon classes get nerfed because they perform too well in a space they're designed to perform well in, Like Whisper, oh my gosh, you're telling me we made a sniper with infinite ammo, and every boss we had in the game just sits still and has a huge head hitbox? Why is everyone using Whisper? Like, it just, I don't know, that still bugs me to this day. Like, I don't know why they decided to do that. I'll switch it up. You know, it's another tradition. I like to switch up my exotics and shit. Uh, we're gonna need a sniper. Risk runner. Sure. Then we can use getaway artists. Again, I really don't use geomags for the most part. I like to use it with getaway artists. But that's just me being weird, I guess. But yeah, it's like, that's why playing this game is really frustrating sometimes. It's like, it's not, I don't know. And you have people that complain about the meta, but yet they abuse it anyways, because, fire. I'm like, whatever. Again, that's just my contrarian mindset, I'll be completely honest with you. Crucible has always been a crapshoot. Like, one of my clanmates said, like, when has there ever been a fun meta? I'm like, here's the point. Like, the meta I always like to say, was great, was, the year one of D2, which was double primary and specials and heavy were mixed into one slot, and you had to fight over the break. And again, looking back on it, I know that meta was shitty, because everyone wouldn't want to fight a 1v1, and they just team shot and had to run corners. What made me like that meta though is just the idea that I can. It's easier to find that ideal 1v1 than you would find in today's Crucible, because again, I know for a fact unless this guy picked up power ammo, he's not going to be able just to whip around 180, blast with a shotgun, or snipe me and then move on to the next dude, and it's just, I don't know. Again, Crucible can be fun, and there's a lot of fun weapons you can use in Crucible, but it's like for instance, like I was doing trials with my brother, I think about a month ago, and like if you can use double primer, but you're putting yourself at a severe disadvantage. Just a lot of rounds that I could have won or clutched up if I just had an insta kill weapon on me instead of one that took more than one bullet to kill someone, Side tangent too, like when it comes to snipers, or when it comes to a lot of things in this game, the obvious answer is it's like, again, Bungie and their fucking, like, how come I can think of this but they can't? The aim assist values. The aim assist values in a lot of these weapons are stupid high, and that is because back when the year one of this game, where it was primaries only, they felt like, I guess, to balance the fact that it's a really low time to kill, like they gave them more aim assist. And what they didn't do was nerf the values of aim assist once they, updated the meta and shit. So now you have a lot of these guns with stupid ass aim assist values, like 100, and you hit free shots. And it's like, okay. Like for instance, snipers. What makes snipers so annoying to fight against isn't the flinch. Like there's multiple ways to count. Like, you could literally do your Halo approach where you just add a descope option for flinch, and then maybe have to put a mod in so you don't get descoped when you get shot at. Or nerf all the aim assist values on snipers. What most, at least I think what Bungie doesn't understand is when people complain about, I shot a sniper and he still shot me in the head, it's not because you didn't flinch him. No, you flinched him. You flinched his reticle. But the aim is so strong that the hitbox is generous enough that reticle that flinched off to the side will still count as a headshot. But that's the issue. Not the flinch, it's the aim assist. Again, you can go back to Destiny 1 where snipers were literally unusable because like the flinch is so stupid you couldn't hit anything. But I don't like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know who they have to do their play tests for Crucible sandbox balancing, but I think they need to give us this, because it ain't working. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even play Crucible that long, and I know, like, I can see it, Like, I think I only have like maybe 200 hours of Crucible over what years? Well, we're going to year 6 with Witch Queen. I'm not. I have like triple the hours of PvE that I do in PvP, but yet I can see shit like this. It just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Well, again, what do I know? It's not like I play the game or anything, right? I should probably switch it up here. I need a scout. Can't really use Affinity again? I'll use this one. I always just keep it the same. Put on take and spec. I don't know. Another thing too is like I don't know, like this community also kind of annoys me because like you have like a couple like I read the forums, I probably should, but you always have these type of people like the people like I'm a D1 veteran, I've been here since day one and yada yada yada, here's my input, yada yada yada, or I'm leaving Destiny, or yada, like all these posts or people complain about people complain. It's just an endless clusterfuck. And at the end of the day, I think we all want the same thing. Is we want our version of Destiny. Like not necessarily like my ideal version of Destiny is probably someone's worst nightmare for Destiny, you know, and vice versa. Like in terms of PvP, I want double primary. I want special weapons to be back in the heavy, and you have to fight over. And I want people to be forced to use primaries. Like I just that's my ideal of PvP. Some people hate that and they don't want to do that. Like so, again, what I might like, someone's gonna say, oh, that's stupid, you know. And again, Bungie, for some reason, wants to please everyone, which again, you're just gonna make it more annoying. Like at the end of the day, I think they should just pick their audience instead of try to catering to everyone. Like, of course, you can try to cater. Like, you don't have to be hardcore. Like, okay, we're only gonna do this for hardcore players. So this is gonna happen, or we're only gonna do this for casual players. You know, you can like still do both, but like at some point you gotta pick a side. Because like for instance, like PvP and PvE sandbox, I'm so sick and tired of like, again, I always say PvP ruins PvE, but it is vice versa too. Like there are PvE weapons that will go into like that will ruin PvE. Like for instance, Stasis was made for Beyond Light, and I'm pretty sure it was made primarily for PvE. And look what it did to Crucible, completely fucked it over. So like I can understand, it goes both ways, although I feel like Crucible does way more to PvE. But at some point, they just need to separate the sandbox, because while I appreciate the idea of having a seamless sandbox, you're just holding that potential of a lot of weapons or a lot of ideas that you can't do because, oh, this would break the Crucible, or I can't do this, or this would break PvE. You know, it's like, come on. It's like at some point you just gotta it's a game. People want to have fun. Just like, I don't know. Like I'm saying, you don't have to go full Warframe, I guess, like where everyone's a god of death and don't, you know, we don't have to care about anything. But like, you know, a little bit. I wouldn't mind a little bit more like for my exotics. Like I'm sick and tired of a lot of these exotics that just have like one exotic perk. Like for instance, like Chaperone, like it only has one perk, or like Xenophage, where it doesn't have an exotic perk. Like the exotic perk that, oh, it fires a bullet that explodes, like explosive payload. Ooh. Or yeah, there's a lot of exotics like that that are just missing an extra exotic perk because their intrinsic is just this gun does basic feature like Beck Smith class. This gun shoots like an auto rifle. Ooh, that's the intrinsic perk. I'm like, yes, but that's, you know, like nothing. But again, supposedly they're reworking fusions and all that other stuff. I kind of went off on a tangent because I was talking about the artifacts, but I'm not even looking forward to like the next season artifacts. There's a lot of unstoppable shit, and it's like I don't know the full artifacts, so maybe we'll get things back like Edge Accelerator or Sundering Glare or something. So maybe it's not the worst, but again, it's really annoying that now I can't use things that I like. Like, sure, I can use fusion now, linear fusions, and I'm confused why linear fusion isn't anti-barrier. Like, that's the perfect, like, that makes perfect sense. It's basically a sniper rifle, and you have starts with an Arbalist. Yeah, you have Arbalist, like, that makes perfect sense. Why not just do that? But it's like, nope, Bungie logic. Why would we do that? That'd make too much sense to have an anti-barrier linear fusion and then unstoppable fusion rifle. It's an iron. Nice. Actually, I'll just toss this one. Really? Oh, there it is. I'm not really good at controlling recoil for this thing. And I'm on a warlock and I'm using burst glide, so if he hits me, I'm pretty much fucking dead. Alright. I think this one has rewind and high impact. Which I think is I think this is a pretty good role for DPS if they depending on how they're gonna buff machine guns, because I think they said they're gonna buff machine guns hopefully next season, but I didn't see anything this swap. It might be in the next swap. It's not gonna hit. think he's only one shot, but at the same time, I'm also one shot from death. But yeah, I don't know. It's, and then again, also the burnout too. Like I used to play Destiny religiously. Now I just play other games. So, you know, whenever I'm burnt out, I just play something else. And I think people need to realize that there's more than Destiny. Like I get it. I get the feeling wanting to play this game more. But then at the end of the day, there's other games. You don't have to play something 24/7. You know, transmog system's still kind of, for me again, since I don't really have a lot of looks, like I really don't care, but I can understand people are upset. But apparently they're removing the synth core thing, the one where you have to kill enemies and then purchase the bounty. And I can just purchase the bounty with 10k glimmer, which I'm like, all right, fair enough. But still, I'm to do the hard jump on my warlock. Hopefully it's not that bad because they can kind of like float around a bit. But yeah, like I don't know. Again, I refuse to believe people are like that stupid. Like I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like there's no way someone can do something that stupid, even though obviously people can do stupid things sometimes. But like especially with Bungie, like they've made games for years. Like I refuse to believe they don't know what they're doing with Destiny. That would be really sad if they didn't. I need you to dive. There. Alright, now we're on to this part. I'm just gonna put on the Vower real quick, so I don't have to like deal through bullshit. And necrotic grips too. Well, I guess I should probably think about what I'm gonna use for the DPS for Vorgith. I could do Lament with Lucent Blade, but I don't think it'd be enough to kill him after the nerf. Maybe with Breaching Clear, like yeah, like maybe like Truth Teller, Fatebringer. Actually, no, I want Scout because it's gonna help me out. And no, actually, no, Fatebringer, and then like this, we'll put on like Lucent Blade or some shit. Let's take that off. Put on Sword Ammo Finder. Also, loadouts would be very nice. You know, loadouts would be very nice. Swapping around mods, and also the Glimmer cost for mods. If they can make so Shader Zone class Glimmer, then I'm pretty sure they can make it so Mod Zone cost Glimmer. I'm pretty sure they can do that. Like they just shown that they can do that with Shader. So I'm very confused on why that is not a thing. But whatever, you know. I need a arc piece. I guess you're my Lucent Blade. Or not. I'm probably not gonna use necrotic grip. That's not arc though. I might actually use the stag here. And I can't believe they're giving stag DR. Like I'm just, I am completely floored when they say like, oh yeah, no, we'll give the stag DR. Like, why? It's already good. Especially in GMs. I know people use it for Verity's Brow with Bleak Watches, but I really think the stag is slept on because again, you can stand in a rift, take critical damage, not die, and then you basically have a rift ready. And if you're using this with, now obviously I use this with Stasis, because if you're using Wella Radiance, you want to use Phoenix Protocol, plus Benevolent Dawn, which just give you your rift back anyways, without having to, you know, almost die to use it. So like, I can kind of understand that. We're just gonna put on this plate here. Like a minor. Just one. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. People, I don't know, I just... There's a lot of exotics that I think people should try out. That I know they're not necessarily meta, but they're pretty good. Like Lance is probably one of my favorite, like I guess slept on exotics, because I know it doesn't do anything flashy in terms of damage. It's infinite ammo though, and that's very good. Just having infinite ammo is just very good. I'm gonna put on Breaching Clear too as well. So Breaching Clear, put on shield break. Put on sword capture, yeah. Okay, I'm using blink. I kind of don't want to like die and have to reset this entire area, so oh fuck, we'll just use astrocyte. Hopefully we don't kill ourselves here. Oh, killed myself because I took off blink. Haha. Oh yeah, I hit the checkpoint though. Here I was mashing blink. I'm like, oh wait, I already switched it. Oh cool, we did make it. All right. Oh no, there goes the falls from. I think I'm on Devour. Yes. Oh, let me switch back to the so you guys. Right, because I don't have things. Keep doing this. So I switch. Alright, now we're good. Farm up some ammo. Yeah, we started. I don't know. I think I'm making one of like 50 something. Yeah, 58 I think should be the max. We'll see. I don't know, once I get a heavy brick to draw. I'm gonna go on the limb and say this is the max. Anyways, to go on to the first secret chest here, that actually gives you a weapon. First secret chest, technically, because there's one all the way to the left before you enter this room. Here you go. They all despawn. Very weird. Just trying to run through. Don't mind me. I mean, I could probably like go like this to escape faster, I guess, or something. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Shadow Throne just fits like a dungeon a lot more. Like the lore behind it's really cool, and just like you have all these little secrets that you can do that are really cool. Like you have multiple pathways to certain things. You have like different objectives. Like you did the Wish Under quest, like that door would open over there. But there's a lot of cool stuff in here. And then you have secret pathways if you like drink a tincture and all this other crazy crap. I don't think we are gonna use Nova Bomb. I don't know. I don't want to use like I guess we'll use like Stasis or something. We'll use like Stasis, Stag, Loosen Blade, Sword, I'll put one in this grenade launcher. I don't care about that. Sure, my stats are a mess. Yeah, another thing too is like I was really surprised that people didn't use Stasis when it first came out. Like I know it was broken in PvP obviously, but I heard in PvP people just didn't like it. I was like, Stasis is what I've been asking for forever because it's literally just like crowd control, like a hard crowd control, and it can just turn off enemy AI, and it makes things stupid easy. And before they changed Whisper of Hedron, it literally did everything. Like, it literally did everything. You could get bonus super energy, you can get a free damage, 20% damage buff. Again, hard crowd control. massive damage with shattering enemies and the supers. You also had healing whisper rhyme, like it's crazy. And also speaking of stasis, like I find it fun they're starting to balance it more, so I don't see stasis as much in Crucible, but again all it takes is just the next season to bring out some broken ass aspect that just completely fucks everything over again. It's like alright. You know, like I'm looking at you, touch of winter. And then it gets nerfed and then like no one is gonna use it. I still use Shadow Dive in PvE and Winter Shroud. Those are the only two I use on my Hunter. Bleak Watcher and Ice Flare Bolts on my Warlock. And then Titan, that's the only one where I like to switch it up, like between Diamond Lance, Howled Storm, and Crowd Plasma. So, it's like the only one. Look at that, like. And I usually just get a 20% damage bonus for just doing that. Like, that's ridiculous. Come out there, breach and clear him, and then, because I don't know if I can survive with the yeah, I've void damage and concussive. I might be able to survive. We'll see. Like this boss arena, like though I complain about it, it's a lot more fair than the Prophecy boss arena because there's actual like cover that you can't just get immediately fucked out of compared to like other parts of Prophecy where it's like, oh, tough luck, the Minotaur, the Phalanx hits you through a wall, and I go off the map. So they're blind. Blind grenades are also extremely dumb. Oh, breach you cleared and have disruption break? That's like brilliant. So again, what I can do is, now they're blinded. Toss this over there. I probably should like manually detonate with that. Use that to get Whisper. Oh, yeah, also almost like damage reduction too. Then I have the Stag to give me more, get my Rift back. I can, and then when I take damage to get my grenade back, it's like, yeah, Stasis is really dumb. They're all blind. I can do that, so now they're extra fucked. Like, I don't know why people don't use Stasis. Like, it's strong. It does not lack killing power. Like, I don't understand. If you have trouble winning the dungeon, just use Stasis. Like, that's my advice for you right there. Try to keep my charger light here before I, really? Stun. Alright, let's see how this works. So I'm gonna throw my Bleak Watcher. I guess I'll throw it at him. Kind of want my thing to come back though, but we'll see. My man still got it. Yeah. You see how that wasn't like stressful at all? Like Stasis is just busted. I don't understand why people don't use Stasis. It's fucking stupid. Even after Whisper Feeder's been removed, again, it used to be stronger than this. Like I would have probably done it in like half the time with that 20% damage buff. Also, Lament's stupid. It still does stupid high DPS too. Like unless they completely nerf this gun. Shotgun, Huckleberry, and I already used the rocket sword. There you go. then we'll use like fucking top tree Dawnblade. Why not? In the spirit of things that are getting nerfed, right? I don't really care about my. I could just use this. I don't really care about the mods. Whatever. Let's roll with it. Trying to think what I'm gonna use for Witch Bitch. I could use the traditional top tree Nova. Like I said, she's not even a really hard boss. It's just like ad control, and guess what does ad control very well? Stasis, or just any gun with Firefly, like Sunshot, or Risk Runner. Actually, I was thinking about using Risk Runner. Yeah, you know what? We might just try the meta Risk Runner with Geomax shit. You know what I mean? Like where oh, whoops, and now I can't get that chest. Unfortunate. Oh no, whatever shall I do? Unless... Wait, hold on, I fucked it up. There we go. Oh no, see? It's all about which... Oh no, I talked too much shit. There we go. See? Look at that knowledge. And then that's actually going to be the new Shadow Dive too, because it can be multi-directional and it can heal you. That's pretty. I mean, that's pretty strong. I don't think it's going to have damage reduction. It probably shouldn't have damage reduction. If they did, then they literally just. But I guess Shadow Dive is also annoying too because of the breaking of the crystals. But honestly, it's the fact that you could spam the damage reduction, get out of any spot. That made it really strong. So yeah, you drink one of these. Then you look. I think it's closer to. I think it's over here. It's like yeah, right here. See, like that's cool. Shit like this doesn't happen in Prophecy. There you go. I got. And then you always get. I think you always get your things refunded. Your tincture of Queen's Sword. Completely forgot you could do that. Yeah, but I'll definitely add it out to this video. Like I said, if I were like actually focusing and using like not like a meta loadout, but what I use normally to do this, it's probably taking like under 30 minutes. Like again, I'd say I have like a complete sense of mastery when it comes to Shadow Throne. Like I know all the little secrets. I know how to deal with every boss. I don't like. And it's funny too because I remember when I first started doing this, I'm like, this is impossible. I don't know how anyone does this. Like can do this solo. Or about those damage resistance mods. It's fucking impossible. No, I don't want to die. I do have a sword. I do like how they buff Sunbrighters, so you don't have the 2 solar grenades from Destiny 1, but you have the increased burn damage and duration. Plus you get the little knots or radiance with the melee kill. Again, it really works really. It synergizes really well with top tree. Because, you know, you kill with a melee, you can use that to get your heat rise and spam your grenades, which will then get you your melee, because you're going to be in the air, and all that shit. Very cool. I didn't even get to use Huckleberry, Stone Top. Let's use it up here. Oh, look, guys, I'm playing Crucible before the slide shotgun. About the slide nerf too, like, I don't know. Like, the thing is, like, the problem with Crucible is the movement plus the shotgun. Like, you can make a shotgun have, like, 1 meter range, but people make it work because you can just move like a Kraken in Destiny. And so the solution's obvious, just nerf the movement, but at the same time, I know that's why people like this game too, Crucible, if they like the movement. Kind of like if they nerf speed, like the movement speed Titanfall too to bounce. Like, I can understand. That's why I'm like, okay, I can understand why they don't do that, because quite literally kill like one of the best parts about this game, which is the movement. But yeah, like that's why I don't envy the Crucible balance team, because it's pretty damn hard. Because there's a lot of cheesy shit in the game. Like every class has a broken build, every class has a stupid ability that shouldn't exist, but you know, Whatever. Alright. So now we're gonna go back to Devour. That's not the right one. Then we're gonna farm up a shit ton of ammo, and then we're going to think about what we're gonna use. And I think I'm gonna go with Risk Runner, Breach and Clear, so like something like this, and then a Slug Shotgun, right? In the spirit of meta. Because I've done it with Merciless before too in the past, so. Then I put on Geomax, which is a Chaos Ridge. I probably wouldn't get my super by the time that shit goes down. Just do this, and now we're... And just like an extra layer of protection, but which should be solid. Alright, so... I'm definitely running Geomax, that's fine. Breach and Clear, taking charge. I don't even need the Recent Blade, I'm not using a sword. Stop. Some spots make this stupid easy. Really, that's how people, these are how people get their season pass while just AFK macroing this. I guess I can respect the hustle like this. They should use Carnithian armor instead of different stuff. But yeah, like, there's not really much to say about Destiny because I've already either said it like in another video or I've talked to my friends about it and I can't really regurgitate the same points. Again, I'm not really happy with the state of the game. Like, it's not, it could always be worse, but it's like, I'm so sick of the seasonal model and I'm not looking forward to the next season because it's gonna be another Gambit fucking style game mode or some shit. Like, they've yet to not do that or just copy the Menagerie again. Like, it's... I'm not surprised, though, would have been, like, an exotic quest for this season or, you know, for next season, maybe bring back another D1 raid or remaster a different raid or something, or just a raid. That'd be pretty nice. That'd be pretty cool if, like, every season we got, like, a remastered Destiny 1 raid, although I think that might be a little bit too much to ask for every season, but like maybe every 3 seasons, like almost, you know, like maybe when Witch Queen comes out, like one during seasons during the Witch Queen, there could be a King's Fall or a Quarter's End remaster. Like, that'd be pretty nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Am I reaching the limit? Hold on, I only got 4 minutes. It's been 6 minutes. Holy shit. Still no? I don't know, I'm gonna... I guess I'll save it here. Still looking for that heavy. I got the special. Looking for that heavy. They're just like, no. Still no heavy. I will appreciate the ammo finder change, so you'll get a higher chance to get your ammo finder using a primary, and then it's even higher for the exotic primary, which is nice. Probably should have put on grenade scavenger. Oh no, I died because my chain stopped. What was me? Like I said, I don't think there's anything that's like... GMs are annoying, but I don't think they're impossible to do or like stupid hard. Like it's... Again, I think a lot of this game comes down to knowledge. Like, sure, doing a GM with damage travel is chosen is probably like technically not impossible, but like very tedious. But I'm saying, like, you don't have to run the meta. you can run other things, and sometimes like the meta doesn't work for you because you just not use that playstyle. Like you can give someone a super optimized build, but if they don't like how it works or they don't know how to chain it properly, just it's not gonna work for them. Again, like I prefer to use Lance over other just exotics because again, it's infinite ammo, so I can always stun the player. Don't have to worry about other shit. It's just a reliable gun, and I decide to use it. So, yeah, I think we're done with this. Yeah, Alright, so we're gonna get the armor in order first, then we'll switch to the top tree. Gatorade's grenade launcher. Sure, this works. Then we'll just go to this. I have a demo. I have a wellspring weapon, if I'm pretty sure. Also, I'm gonna put this on pulse so I can purposely proc risk runner without killing myself with storm grenade. I have a wellspring weapon, I think. Ever since I found out about this skip, I never went through that. I rarely did the legitimate way. Not the legit, but like the longer way. I did it for my flawless ring because I was afraid of killing myself here. Oh, one of my flawless rings. So yeah, you just come over here. And then there you go. You don't even have to increase stats, like that's it. And then you can switch over to Geo Mags. Or you can switch over to what the fuck you want to use. Switch back to Risk Runner. And yeah, that's like, alright, we can go ready to kill which bitch. I recommend boss spec, not taken spec, because I think she counts as the boss. Did you guys not? Hello, Tolan.
What will you do here in this world on fire? You could carve your name into the fabric of reality, but you lack imagination, don't you?
Yeah, I just kind of want to kill this bitch because I want to. I don't care about legacies or that shit. And this is going to be a yearly tradition of just coming in here and soloing Shattered Throne. Maybe I'll do the other dungeons. Something worked out. Prophecy. Actually, funnily enough, I think Prophecy is the only dungeon I haven't done solo on my other characters. Like I can do it on my Hunter, no problem, but I actually never attempted it on my other characters. So I actually might do that. Alright, so I don't know how they're slamming. I think I accidentally did that. Alright, we're gonna reach the grenade. I don't even need to breach this guy. Two. Yeah, very, very difficult fight, honestly. You can do this operation clear when it doesn't exist in whatever season, whatever season you're playing. You don't need it. That's 3. Alright, well. Give him time, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to kill her here. I could try to. I could have killed her if I used my grenade launcher, but that's fine. We'll just rinse and repeat, and that's it. Oh, hello. Wait, it's kind of you to just show up. Like, honestly, you could just do this if you're like afraid of time, but I'm waiting for them all to teleport and I'm just gonna start melting them. And anytime you guys want to like teleport. Okay, he's out. They're all out. So when they show up, we're just gonna breach and clear and melt the fuck out of them. One. And I probably don't even need the full buff here. No, my plan. Oh well, I'll just do this. I actually don't want to. I didn't want to actually hover over that because I've done that last time and actually fucked me. Wow, very difficult boss fight, honestly. Again, like I said, Shadow Throne is very easy. A lot of stuff in this game is very easy. You just gotta have just knowledge and experience, know what works, what doesn't work. Like for instance, a lot of people like to opt into like a exotic special, like Izanagi's or exotic heavy. For me, the thing that keeps killing me here is just the scions that keep splitting. So if I just get a gun that can deal with that, then I'll choose a different heavy special. So yeah, that's Shadow Throne in current year. And that's like, I don't even know if I was rambling enough about Destiny. And it was TLDR, Destiny is Destiny, nothing really changed. Like the buffs and stuff, I guess they're interesting. But yeah, we'll see. The exotic primary buffs next this Thursday, so we'll see. Again, thanks for watching. I'm gonna have to edit out that like thing where I'm on the phone call, but yeah, I mean, if you learn anything, that's cool. But yeah, you don't have to be on a warlock. I've done this on my titan, on my hunter. I guess I can redo it then, because like if you don't, you know, that was over a year ago. I can just redo it on them. But yeah, that's I think dungeons are very fun. I really wish they would make more. I think raiding's fun, and I think people should do raids. There's a lot of content in this game that I think people should be able to do. And the barrier to entry really isn't that hard outside of maybe GMs, because that does require you to do pinnacle grinding. But like for a raid, again, I teach raids all the time. Well, not all the time, but I do like to teach raids. And I think it's just finding the right type of person. Like, this took me an hour. Honestly, this would take about 30 minutes if I wasn't just fucking around. But yeah, that's Shadow Throne. I guess I'll do my hunter next, or my titan. So see ya.